Hey guys! Hey, it's Alaina, back with another YouTube video, and in today's video, I will be doing a Q&A. So I went on my Snapchat and on my Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me questions, and today I'll be answering them. So let's get into it. So the first question is, how old are you? I'm 17 years old and I just turned 17 in May of this year. So Taurus gang up in this house. Period. So the next question is, what grade are you in? And I'm going to be a senior in this upcoming school year. So hopefully big things come out of senior year. Hopefully big things come out, because I'm not having a bad senior year. I understand that there's the pandemic and the beginning of the school year is going to be rough, but in the end, I will have a good senior year. The next question is, why did you start your YouTube channel? And the reason why I started my YouTube channel is because I was already sharing like my creativity on Instagram, but I just wanted to start a YouTube channel so that it could be more personal, because on Instagram, it's just like, oh, you post a picture, you might post a video, but it's not like really like personal enough like YouTube can be. The next question is similar to the last one, and it says, what made you start your channel, and what do you think your theme will be once you grow into your channel? For example, will you always do makeup and fashion, or will you branch out? And I already answered the first part of that question, but for the second part, I don't really have a theme that I really want to achieve. It's not like a set in stone goal, like, okay, I want to do this type of stuff, or I want to do this type of stuff. Obviously, I'm going to still do fashion and makeup, but I don't want to only do fashion and makeup. So, personally, I would like to get into more, like vlogging type of things too, because I would like to share, my new experiences and stuff like that with you guys, so that it could be like more personal. The next question is, what do you do outside of YouTube? And so what I do outside of YouTube is basically regular teenager stuff. I don't know how to explain it. I hang out with friends. I do cool stuff, I guess. Yeah, I like to read books a lot too. So I read books, do teenager stuff. I also do I sew some things too. So yeah, like some of the shirts in my first video, I upcycled, making them like half and half shirts, or sewing on like an emblem or something. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do outside of YouTube. So the next question is, I want to branch out of my clothing style, but I'm too afraid. What are your tips on branching out and getting creative with your clothing choices? So what I did to kind of branch out of my clothing style that I originally had from like a basic type of thing, I basically just went based off of trends that I liked. So when mom jeans first came out, I was like, oh, I really like that mom jean style. So from there, I went with one trend that I really liked, and then I built up things that I personally was like, oh, that would be kind of cool if I paired these two things together. So like that's how I started getting into like brighter colors and more bold options. So yeah, if you're too afraid, honestly, just wear what you want, for real. Don't have it and like if you have in your mind, oh, people aren't gonna like this, you need to get that out of your head. You need to basically just like wear whatever you want. And then if you want to get into it gradually, go ahead and get into it gradually. If you want to go right into it, go right into it. But like with the confidence thing, it has to just be like, yo, I'm gonna wear what I want, and this has nothing to do with you. You're not in my way. I'm gonna wear what I want. So this next one, I have two questions that are basically the same thing. The first one says, siblings, ? And then the next one says, do you have any siblings? And the answer to that is yes. I have one sibling, and he's my younger brother, and he's 14. His name is Bryce, and that's pretty much all I have to say about him. I might put in a picture, I might not, but oh well. So yeah, this is my brother. He's kind of annoying. Yeah. So this next one is, I kind of got a couple questions on this topic, so I'll just say what they are. Okay, so the first one says, got a boo thing, question mark. And the next one says, do you have a boyfriend or are you talking to anybody? And the answer to that is yes. I am talking to somebody, I guess you could say. Would I necessarily consider them a boo thing or a boyfriend? Not yet, no. So the next question is, how has the pandemic personally affected you? And to be quite honest, the only real thing that affected me because of the pandemic was not being able to see my friends as much. So like, as when quarantine first started, I couldn't see them like at all. And then like now, like I've been able to see them like here and there, but it hasn't been like, oh, we hang out like regular. Like we still have to social distance, still will have to wear a mask and everything, you know, to be 100% safe. So yeah, and not gonna lie, like they're like a large portion of my happiness. Like they make me really happy. So like not being able to see them was really, really tough.
I really miss y'all, and I just wanted to let y'all know. So if y'all see this, y'all know that I really do love you, and I really do miss you, and I need to see y'all again, because it is so hard. It's so...
So the next question is, what do you do during quarantine? And so basically I watch a lot of Netflix, I read books, and I've also been doing SAT prep. No. But also I've been learning how to skateboard. Yeah, I'm a skater now. So cool, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really good at skateboarding. I do fall a lot. It's kind of embarrassing. So the next question is, what do you do for self-care? And honestly, I do pretty much the bare minimum. I don't really do nothing too crazy. The only thing that's like kind of like, you know, takes a couple steps is my skincare routine. So I'll kind of show you what it is. So basically I use Clinique products, and I use this foaming Sonic facial soap, and it's kind of like almost empty, so I need a new one. But I use this to wash my face, and then I switch interchangeably between these two moisturizers. This one is the Moisture Surge 24-hour auto replenishing hydrator. That's a lot to say, but I use this one when like I don't need that much hydration. Like, yes, it does say 72-hour, but it's like lighter than this one. And then I use this one at night. It's the Moisture Surge overnight mask, and I use this when my skin is really dry at night. The next question is, what's your middle name? And my middle name is Stormy, spelled Stormie. And basically the reasoning for that is because my first name, Alaina, means peaceful, and then Stormy obviously means storm. So I'm a peaceful storm. That's cool, right? That's cool, right? My parents really did something with that. They really did something with that. The next question is, are you involved in any clubs or sports? Yes, I am involved in clubs. I used to play basketball like my junior year and like the beginning of high school, but I don't play basketball anymore. So yeah, but for clubs, I'm in a lot of clubs. I'm in Black Student Union, Key Club, National Honor Society, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I'm also in this program called Investing Now at the University of Pittsburgh, and it's like a pre-college STEM program. So yeah, those are like the clubs that I'm in. Okay, so these next couple questions are like corny and goofy, but I'm gonna answer them anyway. So the first one says, can you have my children? And the answer to that is a big fat no. No. The next one is, If I proposed, would you say yes? The same answer to that. No. I would say no. This next one says, how does it feel being the most beautiful woman to grace this earth? Honestly, that was really sweet. That was really nice. Aw, whoever said that. I know who said it. Aw, that was so nice. But I'm obviously not the most beautiful person in the world. If I had to say who is the most beautiful person in the world, I would have to say Zendaya. She's bomb. She is bomb. Okay. So, yeah. Those are those goofy questions. All from the same person. You know who you are. So the next question is, what made you interested in fashion? And really what made me interested in fashion was like, when I was younger, I like to sew things, or like I learned how to sew, and then I was like, yo, I really like sewing things. So I was like, yo, I want to be a fashion designer. Now, looking back on it, I'm like, no, I don't want to be a fashion designer at all. But, you know, that was cool. That was like a cool little, you know, dream that I had for a short minute there. But yeah, that's what got me interested in fashion. So like, now I sew a little bit, but it's not like I want to only do this with my life, you know? And so the next question is, what inspired your fashion? And a lot of things I would say inspired my fashion, like trends and stuff like that. And also like older stuff too, from like the 90s, the 80s, you know, Y2K. A lot of those things kind of, you know, inspired my fashion a little bit too. So the next question is, what era do you wish you came from? And honestly, I wish that I grew up in the 90s or like Y2K era, because the fashion was on point. It was top tier. Fashion was top tier. Like, I just love like, you know, like the baggy jeans and like the little top, you know. I just think that's so cool. Like, me personally, I don't like to show off a lot of skin, but like that Y2K era was like so cool, like with the, you know, the contrast and like baggy jeans and then like a really tall, small top. I thought that was so cool. But yeah, that's like the era I would be interested in. The next question is, Scooby-Doo, Powerpuff Girls, or the Flintstones? If I had to pick out of those three, that's kind of tough for me, because I really do love Scooby-Doo and I really do love Powerpuff Girls. But if I had to pick one, I would say Powerpuff Girls, because when I was younger, I watched Powerpuff Girls more. And then also like three like girl superheroes, like girl power on point. Yes, that is a serve. Girl power all the way. Yes. The next question is favorite sport. I said that I used to play basketball, and I actually did really like basketball at one point. So yeah, I still do like basketball. So I would say that basketball is my favorite sport. But to play, I'm not so good at it. So yeah. The next question is career goal. And so basically my career goal, I want to be a biochemist. Like, yes, I want to be a scientist. I just think that it's so cool being like a scientist. Plus, I love biology and I love chemistry. So like, if you put them together, you get biochemistry. Like, isn't that amazing? Yes, that's amazing. The next question is, what do you do for fun? And what I do for fun, I really just, you know, I do a lot of art type of things, artistic things. So I do makeup, I do fashion, yeah, you already know this. But I also write poetry. Yeah, I don't really like post it or anything because it's kind of personal. But yeah, I do write poetry, and I also sew. Like, I don't sew as much as like I used to in the past, like I said, but I still do sew here and there. So that's what I do for fun. The next question is confidence / self-love tips. And this is kind of a tough one to like kind of give advice on it, because throughout my whole life, I've struggled with confidence and self-love issues. So it's kind of like tough to like kind of give tips when I'm still sort of like going through it a little bit. But to be quite honest, it's like just knowing your self-worth, knowing that, you know, you are loved, you are worthy, you know, of love. Then if other people can love you, then you can love yourself, you know? It's that kind of thing. And then like on top of that, it's like with the confidence for tips on it, I would say do whatever makes you happy. Honestly, your happiness is key. If you're like doing something that you don't like and it doesn't make you happy, then just don't do it anymore. You know, like do what makes you happy and you'll be like more confident. So like if you think that you wearing this clothes makes you happy, then wear that clothes. Doing this makes you happy, then do it. Like, and like with the self-love, honestly, the self-love thing, it's like I've had a lot of insecurities, like when it comes to like my hair, when it comes to like stretch marks and stuff like that. So honestly, you just got to embrace your insecurities. So like with my hair, like obviously like I wear my hair like in styles like this, or I wear my type 4 hair out now. So like for self-love, you just got to embrace those insecurities. Like I know you may not want to, but like you kind of like you gotta kind of do it just a little bit, you know. Another thing that I kind of left out that's like sort of a tip that I use is talking to myself in the mirror. I know that seems kind of weird, but it's so cool. Like you just get yourself a mirror and you just look at yourself and you're like, dang, you look good. And then you start listing things that look good about you. Like, dang, your eyebrows looking real nice today, girl. Dang, you're really glowing, girl. Like the same way you would hype up a friend, you just gotta hype yourself up sometimes, you know? And that's how you really like, you know, up that confidence. If you start hyping yourself up. Like sometimes I just be doing that. Yeah. This is the last question. Okay. And so for the last question, it's how do you feel about everything that's been going on right now with Black Lives Matter? I need to set this down so I can use my hands because I need to talk with my hands for this. So basically, me personally, I am full-fledged in support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Like Black Lives Matter and that whole all lives matter thing, they obviously don't care about Black lives when they say that, because if they really did care about the Black lives in that all lives, you know, they honestly would, you know, they would notice that there's something happening to Black people. We're being brutalized, we're being murdered, we're constantly, you know, in fear, you know. So they would be like, oh, we want this to be a good country. We want this to be a good government. So we're going to help that group that's, you know, kind of like on the low, like they're, you know, on the lower end of society, right? Wouldn't you be like, if I really do care about all lives, you would care about the Black lives, you know? And I even got my Black Girl Magic pin on. You know, Black Lives Matter all the way. So I kind of went on a rant there and it kind of got a little confusing. So I'm going to kind of restate a few of the things that I said. So basically, I'm angry that there's peaceful protesters for Black Lives Matter and they are being beaten, arrested, abused, tear gassed for just being peaceful. Meanwhile, for the protest against quarantine and the protest against wearing masks, they were literally, you know, they had their guns and they were spitting in the face of police, screaming in the face of police, and none of them were arrested, none of them were tear gassed, none of them got any like repercussion, none of them were punished. But people who are being peaceful and speaking on something that is very important to them, that is a very serious matter, are being brutalized and abused. It's a problem. It really is. And it really is making me angry that this is a problem that we're dealing with right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. So I hope that Q&A, you know, helped you to get to know me better. And yeah. So if you want to see some more content from me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to be safe and be responsible. Peace.
Hey, I'm doing the outro. Hey, I'm doing that outro. Hey,